Alright boys, welcome back to another video, and as you guys can tell by the title, I just netted $31,000 from trading in the Tradeify Grand Cup. I have been keeping you guys updated on my social medias, but I never made a video. I wanted to wait until I actually got the payouts from them and that payout hit my account in order to be able to make this video, so everything was set in stone. I can show you guys proof and everything so you guys don't think I'm capping, blah 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 blah. You guys know what the deal is. However, before we get into the actual video itself, if you guys want to join the free Discord, link is in the description, and if you need to up your allocation before the new year comes along, there is a 30 to 35% off discount right now on Lucid Trades if you use code LoeGpa. Link is in the description for that as well, so go check that out. But the things I want to talk about in this video is my strategy that I used in the pre-qualifying stage, my strategy I used in the live final stage, all the rules of how the Tradeify Cup worked, all the payouts, how that went, and then my emotions during that as well. So we'll start off one by one. But first things first, all glory does go to the man above. I was in a dark place, I would say, for a couple months in my trading journey recently. I wouldn't say like dark, but it was getting kind of bad. I couldn't pass an eval. And I was essentially just being a break-even trader for it was like 4 to 5 weeks straight, and it was kind of taking a toll on my mental because you're trying to balance out your Discord, you're trying to balance out your own personal trading, and then when you're not making money and you're trying to teach people, you essentially feel like a fraud and you're not doing enough. So that can take a toll on you as well. However, I started talking to the man above and he got my trading right, he got my mental cleared up. And ever since then, I've started being a lot more cool, calm, collective on the charts, started not caring if I take a loss, started not even caring if I took a win. And I'll explain that in a second, because even though I just won $31,000, I'm pretty numb to it. It's like, yeah, it's cool, but there's still a lot more work to be done. And at the end of the day, it is what it is. 31,000. It'll go on my bank account. It's just numbers on the screen, and then we got to continue to make more money because I can't live off that for the rest of my life, right? But all glory does go to the man above. I've been starting being a lot more selective with my setups as well, and that has helped me out a lot. Starting not to rush anything. That was a big thing. So yeah, he has helped me out a lot. But first things first, let's get into the Tradeify Cup, the actual video itself. Let's go over the rules real quick so you guys can understand how this competition even came along. So Tradeify hosted this Grand Cup, and it was $35 to enter for non-users and free to enter for users. And since I had Tradeify accounts already, I got into this competition for free. So the first week started on November 2nd, and it lasted a week long. And essentially, you are building your account, no eliminations, and if you needed to reset your account, you can do so up to 3 times. They gave you essentially a 50K account, and it was just the normal 50K rules, but no profit target, right? You just try to make as much profits as you can in these first 2 weeks, so you can then move on to the live finals. But there was that end of day trailing drawdown, which was that $2,000. And then once you reached $5,000 in profits, you were able to scale up to 5 minis or 20 micros, which doesn't really make sense because 20 micros is only 2 minis, but that is what the rules were. Week 2 come along, and then the bottom 30% of traders got knocked out every day. So top 200 traders advance to the live finals, rank 201 to 400 get $300, and then I believe the top like 150 to 200 got like $500. I don't know where the prize pool is at. I'll try to pull that up in a second. But there was a $1 million reward in total, and then the number 1 spot got $200,000. After you qualified for that, which I believe I ended up coming in 157th place, to be able to move on, I was in the top 200. And then once you reach the live finals, everything resets. Obviously, the 200K reward for the grand champion, 200 rewards with $1,000 in the reward pool. You keep 80% of the profits you make, and then you're either able to keep your live account afterwards or withdraw that 80%. I ended up choosing to withdraw it. And yeah, essentially they just gave you another $50,000 live account this time. Same rules, end of day, lost limit of $2,000, and then the same scaling rules, 2 minis or 10 micros up to $5,000, and then once you made over $5,000, you can then scale up to 5 minis. So the way I approached this competition in the beginning, it was actually kind of funny because the first 2 days of the first week, so November 2nd and November 3rd, I literally was full porting gold just at the most random times. I would see one move and I would just fucking go in with two minis, and I was winning. There was actually my very first trade of the competition. I was in the trade for maybe like 4 hours. Gold was literally just consolidating and I had no stop loss. I was literally just messing around with it because I got the account for free and I already had a whole bunch of other funded accounts. So I wasn't really expecting to do much with this. Um, and I kept winning. And then day 3 came along and I was sitting on the couch with my boy and we were watching a movie and I seen gold make a move down. And it was like the middle of the night and I just full ported gold. I ended up making like $3,000 off that one trade. And I was like, hold on, I'm moving up in these rankings quite a lot. And I was like, I can maybe actually do this. So essentially, the first week I was just full porting, just short. It was literally shorts on gold the entire week. From November 2nd to what is that? November like 5th or 6th, something like that. And I ended up being in the top like 1,000 traders, and I was like, hold on, if I can like make something shake this past week, I was like, we can actually do something. And my goal ultimately was just to become the top 400. I'll get my $300 and then just fuck off, essentially, at the end of the day. I wasn't really looking to jump into the live account, the live funded finals, but we actually ended up trading normally in week 2. I was maybe still like heavier risk compared to like what I'll do on my normal funded accounts, because again, I got this account for free. If I won, I won, and if I didn't, whatever it was, and I was winning. I ended up winning all week, and I ended up finishing in 157th place. I wish it showed you guys on here. I'll show you guys my live funded results in a second because I still have that pulled up, and I'm gonna get into the payouts as well, but I ended up coming in, I think it was like 157th place, and I got moved up to the live finals. The live finals started 2 weeks later, on November 30th, and they lasted until about a week ago, which was December 12th. And I ended up finishing in 7th place in the live finals. I was trading a lot more differently than I was in the knockout round. I was just normal strategy, but like I said, for the Grand Cup, I was still risking one mini to 2 minis depending on the trade, and all my other funded accounts I risked like 5 to 10 micros depending, or 1 mini, but on this it was 1 to 2 minis. Was still being very selective with my setups. I wasn't doing nothing dumb. However, the very first day there was about 40 traders that blew their accounts in the top 200, and I was like, hold on. I was like, 40 people just blew their accounts in the first day, which only leaves about 160 or 159 people left. I was like, I can actually make a decent run at this. And I had about $1,000 in my account after that first trade. That bumped me up to like top 30 at that point in time. And I was like, okay, I can actually like make something happen. So that entire week from the 30th to, I want to say like December 4th, something like that, I was trading very conservatively, still like have a little heavier risk than I typically go in, but I was being very selective on my setups. I think I only took a total of like 5 trades in those 10 trading days, and I ended up finishing in 7th. My goal was going into this after that first day was trade conservatively and let everyone else fuck their accounts up. And I wish it showed you guys the standings. I'm gonna try to find it. I might pause the video and try to find it, but 40 people blew their accounts on the first day, and only 30 people ended up flipping a profit at all. One person didn't even trade, and he got, I think, like top 33. He had a $0 balance and had top 33. So like I said, my goal after the first day, or my strategy coming in after the first day, was trade how I normally trade conservatively, but let these other people fuck up their own accounts, and it'll just move me up in the rankings. And I was slowly climbing the rankings. I went from like 30th to 20th. Then I was in the top 15 for a couple days. I moved up to like top 11. Not even trading. I took a trade. I won. I think I ended up going like 10-3. I had like 10 wins, like 3 losses. I ended up taking a trade and I won. Moved me up to like top 8. And then I was kind of fluctuating in there because from like 8 to like 12, because I wasn't trading. So like the people were just, just going back and forth. And I was just at a standstill with my dollar amount, because obviously the rankings go off of how much you can make. And I was basically just fluctuating around. I took a trade on a Wednesday. The end of the 12th, so it was probably Wednesday the 8th or 9th, maybe 10th, and it bumped me all the way up to 6th place. And there was a person in the top 3 that ended up blowing his account, which is ridiculous because he had like 10 bans in the account and he ended up blowing through it all, or maybe it was like 7, somewhere around there. But he had like double what I had, and so he moved down and it moved everyone else up. Then there was one other person in front of me. I ended up coming in. I didn't finish, but I was at this point in like 6th place, and I was like, oh my god. I was like, Thursday and Friday, I'm not even going to trade. There was one setup I didn't enter, even though it went straight to my draw. But like I said, I was counting on these other people to blow their account, and it ended up paying off. So I ended up making, let's go over here. I ended up making in total, here is my thing right here, rank number 7. I earned $28,000. I beat out 18,888 traders, which is pretty crazy. So that means there was about 18,000, what is that, 800 in like 95, 96 traders, somewhere around there, 94 traders. And I came in 7th out of all of them. Here's my finishing balance of my live account. I ended up making $3,000 in the live account, and you get to keep 80% of that if you choose to not keep your live account. I chose to not keep my live account because if I did, then I wouldn't be able to trade on my fundeds. So I took my 80% profits. You do 2,400 plus 28,000, and that's roughly $30,500, $30,400, and that is what I ended up finishing with. But like I said, I was basically counting on these other people to blow their accounts. This guy right here just blew everyone out the water with a 40K account balance, which is pretty crazy. But like I said, once you hit that $5,000 account buffer, then you were able to scale up to 5 minis, and it made it a lot more easier to get profits that way. But yeah, here is the full leaderboard right here. Can go over it real quick. Here are my bid digis. I tried to change my name to LoeGpa, but it just would not let me. Oh, here's the reward pool right here. So 201 to 400 gets $300. 100 to 200 gets 500, and that was really my goal. After I got the top 200, I was like, cool, I'll take the $500. And then top 50 to 100 got 1,000. And like I said, after that first day where I seen 40 people blow their account, I was like, this is my time right here. I was like, okay, I can actually make something shake. 26 to 50 gets 2 grand, 16 to 25 gets 5, and then I was kind of fluctuating between like 9th and 15th the entire time. So I would say my floor, like halfway through the competition, was like 12th place. So I kind of like locked in $8,000 about just over halfway through. And then like I said, I just kept moving up in the rankings. I got 9th. I was like, okay, 18,000 possible. Then I went to 8th. I was like 22,000. That's super nice. I'll take the 22,000. And then I ended up ultimately finishing in 7th, secured that $28,000. Like I said, first place gets 200,000. And yeah, here is all the people that blew their account. Look, this guy right here didn't even trade. He came in 23rd place. This guy netted $5,000 by not even trading because everyone else blew their fucking accounts. Look at this. You go over to page 3. Only, what is this? Only 40 people didn't blow their accounts. That means 160 people blew their fucking funded accounts. Okay? This is what I mean. Like, your competition is nothing. It's really just you versus you on the charts. Those people you see on TikTok, cool. You don't know what the hell's going on. Those can be fake accounts. Those can be paper trading accounts. You never know. And the ones that are doing it on live funded accounts, cool, good for them. But that's not you yet. Okay, you're eventually gonna get there, but that is not you yet. But yeah, here's the prize pool. So moral of the story is, stop worrying about what other people have going on and just worry about your own self. I was just worried about my trading and my trading only, trading conservatively. If they blew their accounts, cool, and if they didn't, then whatever, they earned that spot. It is what it is. I'm thankful to be even just in this position in the first place, right? Before we exit, I wanted to show you guys this. Here is my payout on Rise. You just received 28,000 from Tradeify Holding Corp. So go ahead and withdraw your funds to your preferred withdrawal option, blah 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 blah. And then here is the 80% that I requested out of that $3,000. You just received $2,415 from the Tradeify Holdings Corp. So yeah, that's essentially all this video was. I don't really want to talk about it anymore because, like I said, money hit my account. Can't live off it for the rest of my life, so it no longer matters. There's more work to be done. At the end of the day, yeah, it was a cool accomplishment, but like I said, we still have a lot more work to be done. But yeah, I was keeping my Instagram updated, my TikTok updated, kind of throughout the series. Haven't really made a YouTube video. Wanted to make a YouTube video on it once I got the payouts. Finally got the payouts, so here we are. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Like I said, if you guys do want to up your allocation or join the free Discord where I live trade every single day, go check that out. Links are in the description for both of that as well. If you guys want to check out my TikTok, Instagram, everything is a LoeGpa. So go check that out. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll catch up boys in the next one.